This is Lagoon Radio.
Are you looking for top-notch printing services that deliver quality and reliability every time? Look no further. The Lagos Diocesan Printing Press is here to serve you. At the Lagos Diocesan Printing Press, we specialize in bringing your ideas to life with precision and excellence. Whether you need business cards, brochures, flyers, or banners, we've got you covered. Our state-of-the-art printing technology ensures vibrant colors, clear text, and professional finishing that will make your brand stand out from the crowd. But that's not all. We pride ourselves on exceptional customer service, fast turnaround times, and competitive pricing to fit any budget. So why wait? Visit the Lagos Diocesan Printing Press today at 17 Broad Street, Lagos Anglican Seminary, and let us help you make a lasting impression. You can also give us a call on 0703 559 7826 or 0816 398 2570. Lagos Diocesan Printing Press, where your vision becomes reality.
Hello everyone, I am the Right Reverend Ifedola Senasu Gabriel Okupevi, Bishop of Lagos. You are listening to Lagoon Radio, your number one online gospel radio in Nigeria and the official radio of the Diocese of Lagos Anglican Communion. God bless you as you keep on listening to us. God bless Nigeria. God will keep Nigeria. Lagoon of blessings will be upon you. Keep on listening. Keep on smiling, and peace will reign in your domain. In Jesus' name.
Yes, we believe in this nation. We believe in Nigeria. That's the lyrics of that song from Timi Dakolo, Great Nation. Yes, good morning and welcome to today's edition of the State of the Nation, our political program on Lagoon Radio, your number one online gospel radio in Nigeria and the official radio of the Anglican Communion Diocese of Lagos, transmitting live from the Diocesan Media Center, 29 Marina, Lagos. It's the 19th day of September 2024, and I am Anosike Chimezie. It's currently 6 minutes gone past the hour of 10 from our studios here in Lagos, Marina, West Africa. I don't know where you are watching or listening from. Yes, and today we'll be talking about Edo governorship election and the electoral system. Yes, you can just watch us live on Facebook, Lagoon Radio Nigeria, on YouTube, Lagoon Radio Nigeria. You can follow us on our social media platforms on Instagram and X, Lagoon Radio.NG. And for your contributions and your messages, you can just send a message to us on 08189 Lagoon. That's 08189524666. 08189524666. That's the studio line to call. And this morning, yes, we have a passionate Nigerian in the studio, a friend of the house, and sometimes I call him a man with too many titles. Yes, Honorable Adedikbo Solomon Otegbayo. Currently he is the public relations officer of the Boys Brigade Nigeria Lagos State Council, a former member of the Lagos State Youth Parliament. He's a social commentator and political analyst. Solomon, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, listeners all over the world. Good morning, Mr. Anosike. It's a pleasure, having me on this wonderful platform once again to be able to lend our voice to the happenings around our nation, Nigeria. And of course, like the song said, we believe in Nigeria, we believe in a great nation, and we believe that Nigeria can only get better and it would continue to get better.
Yes, when we talk about Nigeria getting better, one of the betterments we expect is from the electoral system. And recently there have been calls. Currently now we'll have off-cycle elections in two states, Edo and Ondo states. Generally, what do you expect will be the outcome of this election, with what has been building up?
Let us start, like I always try to do, let's start from the known to the unknown. Yes, this is the very first off-cycle election under the watch of the current president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let's recall that off-cycle elections started in 2006 when Peter Obi of the then governor of Anambra State, regained power. That shifted, the election cycles, and then other states followed suit. Oshun, Ondo, Bayelsa, Ekiti, all added to, the states where we have off-cycle elections due to one reason or the other, that the party that was declared winner wasn't legitimate winner. Some of them won their mandates through the tribunal, some through court and all of that. And that is how we've gotten ourselves to this place where we are now. And I must say, off-cycle election is not alien to any election, to any system anywhere in the world. We have it in other, saner climes too. It only goes to show that democracy is becoming more robust, it's becoming more competitive, people are becoming more aware, such that you won't just go to sleep after losing elections if you have a genuine case and you feel that you can actually pursue your case to the end and regain your mandate. That gave some form of confidence to politicians, and then we can see that yes, you can actually reclaim your mandate. That is why we have off-cycle elections. Now, talking about the Edo State elections, what to expect. Now, the build-up to this election, you would agree with me, has been very, very tense. It is more or less, we've even had the governor make a statement that this election is a do or die affair. We've had, the usual exchange of fireworks, between the three leading contenders, the PDP, the AP, or Progressive Congress, and of course the Labour Party. Now, being the very first off-cycle election under the watch of President Bola Tinubu, we would expect that it would be a litmus test to what we all believe that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a Democrat. We would expect that he would allow a free, fair, and credible election. We would expect that he does not interfere in any, in any manner as regards, the conduct of the election in Edo State come Saturday, 21st of September. We've had several off-cycle elections under other presidents. We had under President Goodluck Jonathan. He was a sitting president, yet his party lost in some states. He presided over the election in Ondo, in Edo, this same Edo, and Ondo, Edo, and Oshun states. And his party, the PDP, lost. He was only able to win in Ekiti State when Fayose, reclaimed the seat from Governor Kayode Fayemi. So we would expect that the federal government, the federal government, as led by the president, would allow a free, fair, and credible election without any form of interference, such that the will of the people would not be subverted, such that the will of the people would actually carry the day at the end of the day, and then the people of Edo, at the end of the day, can say, yes, we voted for this person, this is the person we wanted, and this is the person that has actually emerged, without what we experienced, during the general elections in 2023. So we would expect that this election will be devoid of all of that, and we can have a free, fair, and credible election. But of course, there are, reservations, as regards whether or not we can actually have a free, fair, and credible election.
Okay, let me go to that reservations. Is the fear of many. A lot, especially the opposition. A lot of people they have said that if we want to conduct free and fair election, that Mahmoud Yakubu should not still be the INEC chairman at this time, following what transpired in the 2023 election. Are you one of those that thinks towards that part?
Of course, I couldn't, think less. I want to say at this time that I stand with all of those who are actually saying that Mahmoud Yakubu may not be the messiah that we desire to head our INEC to deliver free, fair, and credible elections. Recall what happened during the general elections in 2023 when party agents were raising genuine concerns that needed to be sorted, that needed, answers, right there at the collation center. What did he tell them? He told them, go to court. That means that, whatever it is, we are going to do whatever we want to do here. You go to court and pursue your case, and let's see if you are able to win. And of course, we can say that we are already beginning to see such tendencies, as regards these elections. Now, the what's his name now? Rotimi Oyekomi, the INEC, is it the spokesperson of
the INEC.
So he's already told us that yes, we are going to deploy all that was deployed, that were deployed during the 2023 general elections. But of course, he's been very quick to put a caveat that yes, the presiding officers would count and announce results at the polling unit, and then they would take pictures of the results and upload on IREV. But he has, he was very quick to also add that that does not in any way mean that we are voting electronically or we are collating electronically, that the Constitution does not recognize that. So it is just for doing sake. They would snap those pictures and it would just be for the sake of it, not to actually affect, the credibility or the pureness or the genuineness of the elections. So Mahmoud Yakub, he's not, really whom I think should be heading the helm of affairs in INEC right now. We've also had concerns. The opposition parties have also raised concerns as regards who the current resident electoral commissioner of Edo State is, in person of Mr. Onoha, who happens to be a very close associate of the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. He was a commissioner while Wike was governor, and I believe he even got this appointment, via the influence of Wike. And we all know whom, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike is. We know the role he played during the 2023 elections. So it is only normal and natural for the parties involved to express their fear as to the credibility or the genuineness of this election, that will be presided over by someone who is a close associate of Nyesom Wike. So ordinarily, we would have expected that Yakub would listen to them and just, let him, recuse himself and bring someone neutral, because at the end of the day, he may not be totally, we may not be able to say that this person who presided over this election was totally neutral or he was totally free because, of his background, because of his relationship, with the current minister of the FCT.
Okay, still talking about fears. The PDP, who are the incumbents in Edo State, they are crying. Intimidation from the police and the rest of them. In fact, a video surfaced online yesterday where a said leader of the PDP is being dragged into a Sienna bus by the policemen. I watched the PPRO of the police yesterday when he confirmed the arrest. And PDP is crying foul. But APC is saying that the law is taking its course. And Labour Party itself, he said they are not even confident of this. And like you alluded in your fact, the president, who we will say is a Democrat, what role should the presidency play? Yesterday I saw the CDS, the army, they were, what is the role of the military in a civil, what is the role of it in the election? What are we expecting from the president this time around?
Okay, so you remember, like you alluded in my opening remarks, I said this was the very first one. I would expect that, President Tinubu would be at his utmost best so that his name can be written in gold as a president who, followed, the footsteps of his predecessors by conducting a free, fair, and credible election where his party could possibly lose, during an off-cycle election. Now, that fear that I envisaged, that I brought to the fore in my opening remarks, is already, being played out. The police PRO was saying that they were doing their job. They were, arresting people who had cases to answer in connection to the violence at the airport road where a police officer was killed who happens to be an aide to the APC governorship candidate. So, but what even brought about this violence, it was when Philip Shuaibu, who is now an ally of the APC, the former deputy governor, who is now an ally of the APC, got one judgment, was, twisted that judgment and felt, yes, he could come to town to enforce his reinstatement as the deputy governor. And then violence broke out. And it was alleged that those who, perpetrated those violence were thugs hired by APC. So now, the federal might that we are so much afraid of, that we do not want, that we so much dread, is now being played out. It is now being seen, or I mean, the opposition would not be, wrong if they say that their members are now being witch hunted, are now being dragged, just so that they can be destabilized. They want their morale to be damp. I mean, they want their morals to be down. They are arresting people who are very, very key, strategic people to the success, who are very key to the success of the elections. If the PDP would win, are the ones that are being haunted. That is what the opposition, I mean, the ruling party in the state is crying out to say, that they are arresting our people in connection with the death. I mean, the death of the police officer at the fracas that ensued at the airport road. But they are saying that these people have no hands. How come it is just our own members that you are picking, when it was actually members of the opposition that perpetrated, that crime? The Philip Shuaibu that started it, he's not been called to ask any questions. I mean, who came to town to say he wants to, keep his mandate, reinstate his mandate, haven't gotten one judgment, which was actually twisted. So that one is not being called to ask any form of questions. They are just going for the members of the PDP, because it appears that the candidates of the PDP, stand tall amongst, the the two other candidates. Because normally, I mean, I would say that this election, it's more or less going to be like a 3-horse race, and the PDP candidate, Asue Godalo, seemed to be coasting home to victory, because he seemed to be the only one who has been able to articulate his manifesto. He seemed to be the only one who has been able to really, sell his ideas, sell himself to the people. He's been able to endear himself to the people. So they are jittery. Other candidates are jittery, especially the APC in that state. Now, look at the candidate of the APC in that state. He's virtually run his campaign on proxy. Yes, both of them refused to attend a couple of debates that were organized for them, but the PDP candidate has been able to move around. We've seen him. He's granted interviews, several interviews. He's spoken to the people that he wants to, that he so much desires to govern. But we cannot say that for the candidates of the APC. He's been running his campaign more or less like a proxy campaign, and being spearheaded by his mentor, who installed him into the Senate, the former governor of Edo State.
Okay, hold your thoughts. Let me ask this question before we go on a break. Should candidates debate?
Yes, candidates should debate.
Why?
Candidates should debate because it is from, look at the American election debates. You saw the way Kamala Harris was tackling Donald Trump. So debates goes a long way to make our democracy more robust, because the people whom you are planning to come and govern, they have an opportunity to be able to ask you questions. They have an opportunity to hear from you directly. Debate is different from when you go on campaigns. When you go to campaign ground, you just come and you talk. There's no room for feedback. There are no exchanges of communication, of conversation between you and those whom you are campaigning to. You just come and read out something that somebody has scribbled for you on a piece of paper, and if you are not even reading something, you just come and promise. If debates were not, if it was all about just campaigning, then Nigeria should be great by now. We saw what the APC rode into power on. They rode into power on the premises that they were going to stop insecurity, they were going to create 1 million jobs, they were going to be do blah 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 blah. And at that time, their candidate, the former President Muhammad Buhari, he wasn't attending any debates. If he had attended a debate, we would have been able to ask him, yes, you have promised us 1 million jobs. How do you, plan to achieve this? Remember, leading to the general elections, I said something on this platform that Nigeria, we should, we are supposed to have evolved, past that era where people will just come and rain something on you, just tell you things. We should be able to begin to ask the whys, the hows. Yes, you want to do this. How are you going to do this? How do you intend to achieve this? What are the roadmaps? What are the timelines? Those are the kind of benefits that the debates would be able to afford us if they are well organized. So debate is very important. Candidates should attend debate so that we can actually, pick their brains. We can know their frame of mind. we can exchange, there can be a conversation exchange between them and those representatives of those that they seek to govern. So it is very important that we have debates, and it is a must that candidates should attend so that they can, be able to relate and, articulate whatever it is that they have in plan for those whom they want to govern.
Having said this now, should the INEC make it compulsory, or should it be in our electoral laws for debate to be included as part of the electoral system? Because some of the excuses they give is not constitutional.
Exactly. That's where they all hide. That is where they all hide. They all hide under the fact that there is nothing that is tying them to attending any debate. There is no consequence if they don't attend a debate. There are no consequences. So we should begin to ask our representatives and our senators to, promulgate a law, to enact a law while they are trying to review the Electoral Act, such that debates can be included in the Electoral Act and be said that, yes, there should be at least one debate that will be organized by a body that will be that will cut across Nigeria to be more like an INEC debate, or, a debate that is generally acceptable to everyone, should be included in the Electoral Act, such that it is made compulsory for members of, for candidates of political parties who are seeking election into various offices to attend those debates, crisscross ideas. Let them tackle it out. Let your opposition, your opponents hear you say something and ask you, how do you intend to do this? Let those fireworks, it helps us to be able to make the right choice in whatever elections that we are getting into.
Okay, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll be looking at the candidates and what they have to offer, what they have said to us, and what they intend to do. This is still State of the National Political Program on Lagoon Radio, your number one online gospel radio in Nigeria and the official radio of the Anglican Diocese of Lagos, transmitting live from the Diocesan Media Center Marina, Lagos. We'll be right back after this break.
This is Lagoon Radio.
Are you looking for top-notch printing services that deliver quality and reliability every time? Look no further. The Lagos Diocesan Printing Press is here to serve you. At the Lagos Diocesan Printing Press, we specialize in bringing your ideas to life with precision and excellence. Whether you need business cards, brochures, flyers, or banners, we've got you covered. Our state-of-the-art printing technology ensures vibrant colors, clear text, and professional finishing that will make your brand stand out from the crowd. But that's not all. We pride ourselves on exceptional customer service, fast turnaround times, and competitive pricing to fit any budget. So why wait? Visit the Lagos Diocesan Printing Press today at 17 Broad Street, Lagos Anglican Seminary, and let us help you make a lasting impression. You can also give us a call on 0703 559 7826 or 0816 398 2570. Lagos Diocesan Printing Press, where your vision becomes reality.
Hello everyone, I am the Right Reverend Ifedola Senasu Gabriel Okupevi, Bishop of Lagos. You are listening to Lagoon Radio, your number one online gospel radio in Nigeria, and the official radio of the Diocese of Lagos Anglican Communion. God bless you as you keep on listening to us. God bless Nigeria. God will keep Nigeria. Lagoon of blessings will be upon you. Keep on listening. Keep on smiling, and peace will reign in your domain. In Jesus' name.
This is Lagoon Radio.
Yes, we believe in Nigeria and the promises she holds. Part of the promises is free, fair, credible election. You're welcome back to State of the Nation, our political program on Lagoon Radio, your number one online gospel radio in Nigeria and the official radio of the Anglican Communion Diocese of Lagos. Transmitting live from the Diocesan Media Center, 29 Marina, Lagos. We are live on YouTube, yes, and Lagoon TV. Just click on Lagoon TV, watch us live. And you can listen to us directly via the link www.lagoonradio.ng. On Facebook, Lagoon Radio Nigeria. On Instagram and X, Lagoon Radio NG. For your comments and inputs on the program, 08189 Lagoon. That's 08189524666. That's the number to send in your message, and we'll be here to read them through. Of course, we've been talking to Honorable Adedipo Solomon Otegbayo. He's the Public Relations Officer of the Boys Brigade Nigeria, Lagos State Council, and the former member of the Lagos State Youth Parliament. He's a social commentator and political analyst. He's been doing justice to this. And our focus is on Edo election. Yes, the 21st of September 2024 is the day for the off-cycle governorship election in Edo State. Governor Godwin Obaseki, yes, is about to leave office after enjoying second term in office. Edo is about to experience, will I say, a fresh air, because whoever comes in is a fresh air. And his candidate, they said AI, Asue Igodalo. So AI is the future.
Future is AI.
Future is AI. So that's their mantra. And on the APC, we have Senator Monday Bobolo. Yes, who I would say has been shy of the media. He has refused to talk to the media. He's been shy to talk to the media. And on the other part, we have the former NBA chairman, Olumide Akpata. He's the candidate of the Labour Party. These three are the major candidates. Apologies, and with due respect to other candidates, but these three has been on everywhere, and we know how the Nigerian politics runs. Now, let's look at the candidates briefly. Aso Igodalo. A lot of people said he will be a stooge to the current governor, that he's been brought in to clean up tracks. In fact, APC has accused Obaseki of trying to impose himself as a godfather after saying that there will be no godfatherism in Edo State. And the slogan, Edo no be Lagos. So, Aswe Igodalo of the PDP.
Okay, so Aswe Igodalo of the PDP is a lawyer of high repute. He's an economist. He's someone who has been there. He's been in the corporate world. He's a close ally of Godwin Obaseki. He's very instrumental to the successes that has been recorded by Godwin Obaseki in Edo State. So it is only natural for any governor, for any person who is about leaving, to want to build a successor, somebody who can step into his shoes and continue his legacy. Recall that was exactly what even brought Godwin Obaseki into power in the first instance, when he first sought election after Oshomole was leaving. Oshomole, brought him in as, an integral part of the team that worked with him while he was governor, and then he became governor. But as time went on, there were rancor between Oshomole and Obaseki, and then, things fell apart. He had to leave and, join the PDP. So it is only natural for him to want to, bring someone who would step into his shoes. Aswe Igodalo also happens to come from the Edo Central Senatorial District, where we have the likes of the Isan Southeast, the Isan clan, the Isan local governments in generally, Isan Southeast, Isan Northeast, Isan West, Isan Central, and then Igwembe. And it is more or less like a convention that the governorship seat has been zoned to that particular region of Edo State, that an Ishan man should be allowed to rule after having people from Edo from Benin, from the Edo South, after having people from Edo South governing the party, governing the state. for a while. Now, he happens to come from that state. So that is something that is going to, work in his favor because it's generally accepted. I know, and it is the turn of an Eastern man. It is the turn of an Eastern man. It is the turn of an Eastern man. And besides, all of that arrangements, of the lot of the three of them, Asue Godalo, like I said, seemed to be the only one who is on ground. He's prepared. He's granted several interviews. He's spoken to the people. He's articulated what he wants to do. He has endeared himself to the people. I'm not from Edo State, but I have friends who are from Edo State. And of course, as somebody who is a political analyst, we reach out to our colleagues over there. And so we know what is going on. On the streets of Edo State, on the streets of Benin, everybody is saying AI, AI, AI. The future is AI. That is because he's the only one of all the lot that has been able to endear himself the most to the people. He's the only one who has been able to clearly, articulate his thoughts and his plans for the people. And the people have accepted it. Look, if this guy comes in, he's going to continue in the trend. Because, of course, if Obaseki was living on a sad note, on a bad note, he probably won't enjoy the kind of, patronage that he's having with his candidates. Obaseki hasn't done badly, as far as I'm concerned, in Edo State. So it is on the premise of that he is able to bring in someone, nominate someone to succeed him, and then people are just happy. And besides that, the PDP also has something going for it because everybody knows what is going on in the country. Some people would even tell you that if anybody that decides to vote the APC needs to go and have his brain checked, to be sure if he has all his organs and his senses intact. Because if you look at, what had been our lot in the last 1 year of the president, let's talk about the last 8 years. Let's talk about the last 1 year of the Tinubu administration. It's been hardship, untold hardship upon untold hardship. So why would you want to give such a party, the mandate to rule you?
Are you indirectly campaigning for the PDP or a general saying?
It's just I'm just analyzing generally, looking at what has happened. I'm only giving my own perspectives, based on things that have happened, based on the realities on ground, based on the realities that we face right now in Nigeria.
Okay, before we get to the APC candidate, you mentioned something. Some people said at this time of the year or in this generation, we are still talking about turn. But some people will say equity on the other hand. Because we have 3 senatorial districts. This senatorial zone has come. And I remember a time it happened in Abia State. Said, one man cannot rule Abia State. But at the end, the TAOG ended up favoring Okezi Ibazo, who some people described as a disaster in the 8 years. Now, looking at what has happened in Nigerian politics, some people have said, is it still the same time we'll talk about maybe zoning. Is our zoning, we'll talk about credibility?
Okay, so in what we need in the real sense of it should be credibility. People should get into power based on the strength of what they can actually offer, based on the strength of what they can give to the people, based on their capabilities as regards, the positions that they seek to get into. It should not, we should, move away from that mediocre style of, zoning. It is this turn, it is this zone's turn, it is that person's turn. No. But because our democracy has not matured, that much to that level, we still always have to go back to that issue of, okay, it is this zone's turn, it is that zone's turn. But even while you are saying it is this zone's turn, it is that zone's turn, the onions is on that particular zone, that whatever elective position is being zoned to bring out the best, amongst their lot. And that is what Asue Godalo has going for him. Apart from the fact that, yes, they've said it is the turn of an Isan man. Okpebolo is equally an Isan man. Can you compare both of them? They cannot match. Okpebolo is equally an Ishan man. So what Asue Godalo has going for him, or what the PDP has going for them, is that, yes, they have zoned to this zone, but they have gone to look for the best of the best, amongst them to come and take up that slot. We should move away from that era of it is this person, it is this zone, it is this area zone, and then they can't go and bring one they can bring somebody who cannot even clearly articulate 2 sentences, whose speeches are filled with a lot of gaffes, somebody who cannot even speak, who cannot even talk to the people. So we shouldn't, we should move away from that era of mediocrity of saying, yes, we should get into power based on our capabilities, based on our, precedence, based on what we can actually offer, based on what we can do, based on the strength of what we can do, what we can deliver, when we get to whatever office that we are seeking election into. That is the way to go. That is how, we should go. So Asue Godalo is only lucky that, yes, he's been zoned to their zone, but of course, he's got the capability, he's got the mien, he's got everything that it takes, to be able to fill that slot. So can we move to the...
Now, yes, the PDP, the APC, they've said that you don't need a debate to determine who governs. And they've said that the last 8 years of Obaseki has been a disaster for Edo State. But PDP in Edo State on their own said you cannot bring in someone who cannot address you as a person, let alone addressing the state. Like you said, his campaigns have been run on prosy. We see all this. In fact, he has declined some interviews on TV and radio stations. He has appeared fewer times on it. So looking at Monday Okupevi, who is a senator, and the so-claimed Messiah from Adams Oshomole camp, what do you have to... How do you dissect his candidacy?
Okay, so Monday Okupevi, he is the current senator representing the Edo Central, senatorial district of Edo State, the Ishan land and Igwebe, the entire Ishan land. Now, since he was elected about a year ago, have we heard of any bill that he moved? I was having a chit chat with one of my Edo friends, Ramon Celia, and he was saying that, look, that guy, he's just one of the nay or yay guys that are in the Senate. They are just there to say yay or nay. He has not moved. We've not had him make any reasonable contribution on the floor of the House. He can't, really articulate himself. He's been running his campaigns on proxy. People have been speaking on his behalf. Is that a kind of person that you want to rule, to rule you? Now, if you look at the precedents of the APC, their style has always been the same. Look at, let's go back memory lane from 2015. President Muhammad Buhari, how many debates did he attend? Did he attend any one? How many interviews did he grant, except the ones that were organized by themselves, that were, where he would be teleguided? The questions that would be asked would not, be those, hard questions that he would, have to shake a bit before he answers them. They would always go for prearranged interviews. Fast forward to 2023, the candidate of the APC in the presidential election, our current president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, did he attend any debates? No, he did not attend. All that he did was, to organize his own press brief. At least that one was able to even talk to the press for a while. But even while he spoke to the press, you saw the gaffes, you saw the mistakes, you saw the balablu, the one town difference. And the same thing is repeating itself in this same Edo election. It is their style, it is their trend for, their candidates not to attend debates, their candidates not, to grant interviews. And at the end of the day, they have their plans. At the end of the day, they have their plans. Who thought President Tinubu would win the elections with all that happened, leading to the elections? Nobody would have given him a chance. But of course, at the end of the day, what happened? Go to court. And then we went to court and, we couldn't, get anything out of the court. He's our current president and he's still going to be there until the end of this first tenure, in 2027. So the APC has that style of, wanting to bring out candidates who are not more or less like stooges. Oshomole just wants to, it is more or less like a contest between Obaseki now and Oshomole. Recall that what caused their problem was that Oshomole was going to be lord and master over Obaseki, and Obaseki was not going to have it. So, they fell apart. Now, Obaseki is the current governor and he's trying to install his own, successor. But Oshomole is not going to have it. Oshomole wants to, go back to that his position, that his place in Edo State as a godfather. And that is the reason why he has gone to bring out, Okpebolo, whom he knows that, he's somebody that he will be able to toss around. Can Asue Godalo be tossed around? Yes, let's say it's Obaseki is trying to become a godfather. But does Obaseki look like does AI Asue Godalo look like somebody that can be godfathered? At the end of the day, what will happen is the same way Oshomole parted ways with Obaseki, the same way that Asue Godalo, because of course when the terms are not joining, they are not adding up, there will be fracas, there will be conflict, and then they will go separate ways. Let's look at Rivers State. Whoever thought Fubara would be able to look at Wike in the eyes? Fubara that looks like a complete gentleman, that looks like somebody that cannot, be that forceful. He's proven to everybody that, look, I'm not a boy. I'm not going to be, controlled or be pushed or tossed about by any man. I'm going to be a governor of my own. So it is natural if somebody tries to install somebody, after a while, if the terms are not aligning, if their interests are no longer aligning, what happens? They fall apart and then they go their separate ways. That's what's going to happen. So I wouldn't say Obaseki is trying to become a godfather. He has brought, if he wanted to be a godfather, he would bring somebody, in the rank of Okpebolo. And I'm sure that is what Wike thought he was doing when he was installing Fubara as governor in Rivers State. He thought he was installing somebody who would not be able to look him in the eye. He never knew that, just give somebody power. When he gets to that power
corrupts.
He corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So that's exactly what, would play out at the end of the day.
Okay, let's look at Olumide Akpata, the former NBA chairman. In fact, for him, his message has been, I don't have a godfather. Vote for me so that we liberate Edo.
Okay, so Olumide Akpata on his part, I'm not going to be a prophet of doom, but we know that, all things being equal, looking at, the electoral history in Nigeria, it is not easy for dark horses to just come and then, win elections. Yes, Peter Obi did something very close, in the 2023 general elections, but those are very, very exceptional and rare cases that would happen, just once in a while. It doesn't always happen. Yes, he does not have a godfather. He was the former president of the Nigerian Bar Association. People have been saying that the candidacy or the contest of Labour Party in that election is going to be more or less like a spoiler for the PDP, because we all know that majority of those who make up the Labour Party were members of the PDP. So they are only coming to split the votes, and I'm sure the opposition APC, they are very happy with that. They are, they would want to continue to encourage him, spur him on, because they know that he's definitely going to divide, split the votes and reduce the number of votes that would, be accruable to the PDP candidates. So I would have advised him at this point to close ranks with the PDP, because of course, if you look at both of them, they are both lawyers. Looking at their manifestos, they share, similar ideas. They are people, they look like people who mean well for the people of Edo State. I would have expected them at this point to close ranks such that, his own followers, can be able to, push their votes for the PDP candidate, so that they can be able to, coast home, to victory at the end of this was. Because of course, I'm not campaigning for the PDP. I'm not also trying to demarket the candidates of the APC, but of course, we do not want to go to Babylon. We do not want to go back to Babylon. We do not want what is currently obtainable in the country, the kind of hardship, the kind of strife that we are all going through right now. We do not want it to continue. So, recently we had the end bad governance protests. I think this is the best time to protest. With off-cycle elections. That is how it is done in Senate climes. When they have their midterm elections in America, have their midterm elections in the UK, you see people protesting with their ballots. They come out to make a statement. If a current prime minister or president had been doing badly, and he had been bringing out policies that does not go down well with them, during those midterm elections, they protest so that the president will say, "Oh, Benny, look, if I'm not careful, I could be voted out because, of course, grounds that they had either claimed will be lost and given back to the opposition. So these off-cycle elections are supposed to be our own protest grounds. Citizens of Edo State are supposed to go out en masse on 21st of September on Saturday to go and protest against this government of APC and tell them that, look, what you are doing in the central, we do not like it. We do not like it, so we do not want it to continue to permeate down, into the fabrics of our, into the grassroots. So let us, they are supposed to go out right now, on Saturday to protest. It should be a protest vote. They shouldn't even, yes, either of the other two candidates could win, the PDP or the Labour Party candidate, or any of the other, candidates, because we actually have 17 candidates, vying for this position in Edo State. So they are supposed to protest. This would sink more than that protest that we do on the streets, where they can easily send their thugs and their armies to come and maim and kill. If you go to the poll and vote them, let there be massive rejection of the APC, at the polls on Saturday. I'm sure it would send a message to the center that, look, it seems our policies are not going right with those people. It seems our policies are not sitting right with those people. So let's try and rejig and rethink, our policies and all of that. And of course, I think it is important for us to note that the elections, like the INEC chairman said, when the PDP wrote a protest letter to him that, look, you should remove honor and all of that, the INEC chairman said, look, focus on your campaigns. Of course, the campaigns will end today. Focus on your campaigns. And focus on your campaigns because the elections are not going to be held in the office of the resident electoral commissioner. It is going to be held at the polling units. So let's even know how many polling units do they have in Edo State. We have 4,519 polling units, spread across the states, that cuts across 18 local government areas of Edo, divided also into 3 senatorial districts: the Edo North, the Edo South, and the Edo Central. So the elections are going to be, conducted across those 4,519 polling units. And INEC has come out to assure us that, yes, they are ready, they are prepared to conduct a free, fair, and credible elections. They will begin the movement of sensitive materials today. They actually started yesterday. Nigerian Force are beginning to move some of those sensitive materials. Now, what are those sensitive materials? The ballot papers, the result sheets, and all of that. They are beginning to move them now into Edo State, so that in preparation for the elections on Saturday. So INEC has also told us that they are deploying over 5,000 bimodal voter accreditation system with beavers, for the elections. Now, what is even beavers? What is the work of that beavers? We hope and pray that beavers can be allowed to do its job, because it doesn't make any sense investing so much money in such a technology, and at the end of the day, that technology does not have any recourse, does not have any impact on, the outcome of your election. So why use the technology? Because at the end of the day, they will tell you that the beavers is not backed by the Constitution, is not backed by the Electoral Act, irrespective of whatever facts, irrespective of whatever evidences you are trying to use the beavers for. So it is only our hope that, they can allow that beavers to actually function the way it should function. It is supposed to do 3 things. First, check whether the card that has been brought to a particular polling unit was produced by INEC. Okay, after ascertaining that, the next thing it does is the person who produced that card, who presented that card at the polling unit, is he or she actually the owner of that card? Now, how does the beavers do that? That is where the bimodal comes in. It has 2 ways with which it can actually do that. It is that via your biometric. If your biometric fails, if it fails to verify, through your biometric, then it can also do a facial verification, such that the beavers is used to take a picture of your face, and then it matches the face with what they already have in their database. So if it matches, then they know that, yes, the card was produced by INEC. Yes, the person who presented it is also, the bona fide owner of that card, before that person can proceed to vote. And then at the end of polls will be counted, the results will be counted and announced at that polling unit, and they will use that beavers. The presiding officers would use these beavers to snap and upload, the result sheet to the Rev'd. But of course, the INEC has been very quick to tell us that they are just uploading for the sake of uploading. It cannot be used, in any court of law because it is not backed by, by law. And in every polling unit, we are going to have 4. INEC has actually deployed 18,076 ad hoc staff, to man those 4,519 polling units. We are going to be having 4 ad hoc staff at each polling unit, a presiding officer, an assistant presiding officer 1, assistant presiding officer 2, and assistant presiding officer 3, who have the various, roles that have been clearly defined for them to carry out at that polling unit. So we have also been assured by the security agencies, especially police.
That's where I wanted to land,
Okay.
Because the IG of police, looking at what is happening currently, and not signing of the peace accord by the incumbent
Yes, the
PDP, and with what is going on, are we expecting a free and fair election, especially that will not be interfered by the security agents?
Sincerely, I mean, we are already beginning to see interference by the security agents. Apart from those videos of the arrest of PDP stalwarts, we've also seen a video where a spy police officer, clad in a spy police uniform, speaking, he said so many untoward things that is least expected of someone, in
Such position.
of such position. So we are already seeing that because it is already looking like there's going to be federal interference. Members of PDP are already being arrested. A spy police officer was already talking off. We have the Inspector General of Police have deployed 35,000 police officers just for one state's election, and they are still expecting additional 8,000, officers from other sister agencies, the NS National Security and Civil Defense Corps, and other, ancillary agencies to come and support them. So I'm not too sure that we are going to have a rancor-free election. Now, you can liken the refusal of the PDP, from signing the peace accord. You can liken it to what the Beavers is. The Beavers cannot be, it's not, there's no law binding it. Likewise, there's no law binding you to sign any peace accord. President Muhammad Buhari did not sign a peace accord. Bola Tinubu did not sign one. So, whether you sign it or you do not sign it, nobody can say, you signed that there will be no peace. So we can use this to drag you to court. No. So, there was no incentive for the PDP, for the party PDP to have signed that peace accord, because days leading to that ceremony of the signing of the peace accord, we saw what happened and we saw what has continued to happen. There has been violence. There's been rumors that they are even planning to change the security architecture of the governor. So it's looking like there's going to be a federal interference. Now, yes, people say that, yes, there's power. There's power of incumbency. Yes, power of incumbency is very great. But there's another power that is even greater than the power of incumbency. That is the federal might. Because, of course, the CNC, controls the entire security apparatus, controls the entire, the entire system of the country. The INEC chairman is more or less answerable to him. I've said it severally. I've canvassed it at several occasions that the INEC should be truly independent. The INEC chairman shouldn't even be picked by the president. No, he should be picked by representatives of student bodies, representatives of civil societies. They will sit down together. People will contest. There will be an interview. So and then they shouldn't even be funded by the government, so that it can be seen that truly independent. So we can only pray that we have a free, fair, and rancor-free election. But because of the fireworks that had characterized the campaigns that had led, up until now, it may not be easy for us, because the governor himself has even come out to cry that, look, I'm helpless. So, and then he's had to say that, look, this election is going to be a do or die affair, because he also wants to try and match the APC, fire for fire. Power for power and all of that, because that had always been the approach of the APC. That is what they know how to do best.
Okay, we are totally out of time. But before we go, what would be your advice to the people of Edo State in this coming election?
Okay, so my advice to the people of Edo State is, I know the Edo people to be people who are determined and who are very deliberate with their actions. They did it, during the last off-cycle elections in the states, they came out with the statement, categorical statement. They said, Edo no be Lagos. And they followed, through with that statement. They, followed through with that statement. Right now, my advice would be for them to, make such a statement again. Edo no be Lagos, Edo no be Abuja. Vote the person or the candidate that they feel would deliver the good that they so need, that they so much need. And they should ensure that as much as possible, counter whatever it is. Once they are being induced by monies, by stomach infrastructure, take their money and go to the poll and still vote your conscience. That should be the way to go for the Edo people.
Okay, that should be the way to go. And that concludes the end of the show this morning. We most sincerely thank you, Honorable Solomon, for coming on the show this morning.
Thank you so much, sir. It's
and
always
we
a
hope
pleasure.
to see you when next we call on you.
By the special grace of God.
Okay, thank you for listening to the show. Join us again next week. Probably we'll be here to congratulate the winner and talk about what hope for Edo people. From me and Osike Chimezi and our producer Sandra Nche is goodbye and do have a lovely day.
This is Lagoon Radio.
Are you looking for top-notch printing services that deliver quality and reliability every time? Look no further. The Lagos